Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into another daily live stream. Today, we're going to talk about decentralized science. I know it's a shocker. I know it's unexpected. We haven't talked about DeSci in about 24 hours, so I get it. But we have a lot of cool news, a lot of interesting updates that have been coming out of a lot of these DeSci projects, and so I figured might as well go through them all and just give you guys a daily update on the 12th of June. Good morning, Haver Crypto. Good morning, Morales. What's going on, Two-Reader? Bitcoin, currently speaking, got rejected yesterday after the live stream and has been coming down ever so slightly. I think this is a good spot for Bitcoin to bounce with the RSI down here bouncing off of the moving average. And just showing a little bit of strength, a little bit of reset, so it's not just a straight line up, because the more stair steps we have, the more sustainable the rally is. I know that this is probably scaring a few people because it does look like we're getting a very elaborate double top here, but I do not believe that is the case. I think we'll find a balance here and then resume the bull market. I'm stuttering. I can feel it already building up some stutters in my vocab here. So bear with me. But things are looking pretty good. Again, I think if we bounce here, it'll be a really beautiful RSI setup for us to push up to $130,000 to $140,000 per Bitcoin. As far as Ethereum is concerned, let's get rid of these lines here. Ethereum, very similar story. It got rejected yesterday off of the resistance that we've been toying with for many moons at this point. All the way back to February of 2024, this line came into play. And then again in May of 24 when we tested it as support. This is Ethereum, and then back in July of 24 when we tested as support, we sliced straight through it and kind of just hovered right below it for several months, and then we sliced above it and then sliced through it. So it's been an area of contention for quite some time, and now we just got rejected almost perfectly off of that line. We should, in my opinion, come down, same exact setup, find some support here on the RSI above the moving average, and then continue the uptrend higher. I would not be surprised at all to see us slice straight up into the 3000s for Ethereum. As far as Solana is concerned, a little bit weaker than Ethereum, but still holding out, trying to find which direction it's going to go in. It's right smack dab in the middle of all of the moving averages, so we have a bit of time to wait and see where everything goes. Now, the same exact story plays out for all of the DeSci projects in the market right now. For the most part, everything's having a bit of a pullback today, which is not the end of the world, guys. It is not the perfect market environment for altcoins to rally. We see Bitcoin dominance here, getting a little bit of support, and it's just the same old story. We just see dominance continuing to truck higher and the market slowly creeping up, but with no real signs of an alt season imminent. We'll see. We will wait and see. Another thing I want to bring up is TLT. TLT is starting to rise here today. We saw yesterday that the United States Treasury bought like $10 billion worth of T-notes, aka debt, aka the bond market. So the United States Treasury was purchasing their own debt, which is pretty interesting, but they're trying to effectively keep interest rates low. They want to boost up the bond market a little bit. So if other countries aren't going to step in, the United States government is showing that they'll be stepping in. This was the largest purchase in history of debt by the Treasury, and that is compared to the previous largest in history, which was from last week. From my understanding, I saw it on Discover Crypto. I also saw several different people talking about it on X yesterday, which we can pull it up if you guys are interested in it. But I think that this is one of the safest plays in the entire market. I mean, right now you buy some bonds, you yield 4.5% for 20 years. You're guaranteed those returns as long as the United States government is still surviving at the end of those 20 years, which I believe it will be. And if they do end up cutting rates anytime at all in that 20-year period, then you get a boost in TLT. So buying TLT, I think, is an easy play to make some limited but safe returns. So that's just my take. You guys know I've been in TLT as a hedge since February. So this year, starting out this year, down a little bit in the position, but it's something that's super stable that I'm fine holding on to for as long as it needs to be. Another interesting data point that we should all take into account and observe is that the dollar index just broke 2 new lows today. So dollar index broke 98 here for the first time since like 4 years or something like that. And we are actually seeing the dollar show more and more signs of weakness. Last time we were at these levels was back here in March of 2022. So it has been a solid 3 years and several months since we were down at these levels. And you guys know that because Bitcoin and the crypto market is measured in dollars, the weaker the dollar, the more likely it is that the crypto markets are going to go up. So seeing the dollar falling off a cliff is really cool. Not super great for the overall economy, but pretty good for assets that are denoted in dollars, especially in trade. So with all the tariffs, a weaker dollar means it's more accepting to trade with the United States. We can get into that nuance if you want to, but you just have to understand that a weaker the country's currency is, the better it is for foreign countries to come do trade with that country. So tariffs going up, dollar coming down, kind of it's the market stabilizing itself to some extent. Also, we saw PPI data. The PPI data came out today, which is the producer price index, which is really exciting to see. That was today, right? I'm pretty sure it was today. July 16th. Oh, that's the next one. Yes, so the May data came out today. We go look at the PDF version of it, and you'll see that the month over month was chilling right around 0.1, which is really cool. It came in less than expected, and it showed that the core PPI broke down a little bit more, which is really exciting. Again, just another indication that inflation is coming down, and it's not really something that people should be super concerned with anymore. Yeah, just more data points. More data points to show inflation's not a concern, the labor market's weakening, rate cuts are coming. When will rate cuts come? No one knows. And I went on that rant yesterday about it. I think that when rate cuts do happen, it'll be a pivot point in the market. So I would really like to see those rate cuts be postponed as long as possible. I think we might see one in October. I don't think we'll see one anytime before that. But yeah. Now we can get into the DeSci market. CoinGecko, DeSci's down 7% today. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. A little bit of a pullback. Nothing too crazy, but definitely a good sized pullback. What's leading us down? We have SciDAO down 38%. That's kind of crazy, actually. Did not expect to see that big of a drop in them. We see Solve down 35%. We see Exemplar down 25%. TIG down 23%, which is nothing compared to its 753% gains on the week. We see Vita RNA down 20%, which is funny compared to the news drop, the data drop that happened at DeSci Berlin. So I'm a little bit shocked that it's down. Axon down 20, Sci down 18, Genome down 17, Noble down 16. This is a brutal day in the DeSci market right now. What is holding us up at all, if anything? Isaac, ValleyDAO, not Defi Hellman, but we're already down. Just those three were down to only 2% gains. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Dynex holding steady, bullish. Let's go. Keep it up, baby. As far as the news, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys come into the live stream, please do hit the thumbs up on the live stream. It would mean the world to me if we got equal likes to concurrent viewers. We have a solid 10 viewers right now, so let's go ahead and get those likes up to 10, and we can have a good time, a good party. Right now, we have Genomes releasing a bit of an article here, a little bit of a blog post, if you will, as to why not one drug fits everyone, why you need personalized medicine. And their latest blog introduces the science and how our BitTensor subnet aims to advance drug response predictions. So because Genomes DAO is now involved with BitTensor subnets, I do want to pay closer attention to them. And I want to read about the subnet here. Get out of here. I'm not creating an account. Let's go ahead and BitTensor. Let's get to the exciting stuff here. While the field is still evolving, progress is being made in many gene-drug interactions are already well documented. At genomes.io, one of our goals is to advance this understanding further. Creating our subnet on BitTensor focuses on human drug responses. Why do genes matter for drug responses? Pharmacogenomics aims to identify genetic variants that alter how drugs work in the body. These effects fall into two main categories: pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. Which kinetics is how the body absorbs, distributes, and metabolizes and excretes the drug, and the dynamics is how the drug interactions with the biological targets produce an effect. That makes sense? So how the drug is dealt with and what the effects are going to be on the body. Many key proteins involved in this process, including drug metabolizing enzymes, transporters, and receptors, are encoded by the genetics. Variants in these genes can lead to major differences in how people respond to medications. Metabolism of drugs. You can think about alcohol. You always have that one friend who can absolutely just down a shit ton of alcohol and handle it way better than someone else. Even if you stabilize and account for the body size and the sex of that person, it's partially the genetic response of how you deal with different drugs, right? So it's the same kind of concept. You always have that one hardcore alcoholic friend. The same thing here. You always have that one hardcore diabetes med friend. I'm just making that up, but you guys get it. Enzymes in the livers and other tissues chemically modify drugs, making them easier to excrete from the body. You know what's actually a better analogy for you guys? If you were to think about bodybuilding and working out, you always have those genetic freaks that just produce more hormones, androgynous hormones for muscle building, testosterone, all those same things. And that has to do with your body's ability to secrete those enzymes and those proteins, if you will. And so it's the same exact concept. Everyone has different ability to produce or digest different drug compounds. And so you have to make personalized medicine. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. A one-size-fits-all does not work in medicine. And the more and more we get to understand the genome, the more powerful companies like Genomes and DeSci are going to be in helping with the future of medicine, right? Some drugs are active when administered. Others, called prodrugs, require metabolic activation to become effective. Where is BitTensor? Here we go. Genome's subnet for human drug response. At Genomes.io, protecting our user privacy is central to our ethos. All our users' data is secured in encrypted vaults, and we will never share or expose real genomic data. Yet advancing pharmacogenetics requires large, diverse data sets to address this. Our subnet on BitTensor network will use synthetic genomic data, artificial profiles that reflect human genetic variations, but do not correspond to any real individuals. That's really, really cool, actually. This subnet is being developed as a tool to predict drug responses and to safely train AI models capable of identifying novel pharmacogenetic markers and improving response predictions. Progress on this project is well underway with support from Contago Labs. We ultimately aim to contribute to more effective and personalized medicine, which will be a step forward in both science and medicine. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm super excited for when they launch this subnet. You guys know I'm a big fan of BitTensor, and already they have one subnet for simulated protein folding. So if we can get another subnet specific to mimicking human genetics in order to run tests on it, and it's all open source, you get a lot of potential good projects and good ideas to come from it. So you go look at Tau. It is the Bitcoin of AI, some say. It's sitting at a $3.8 billion market cap. Honestly, I think it's a really strong buy here at these prices. I really do. It's not quite the $80 when we first started talking about it, but it's also far off from the $700 or $800 when it peaked. Come on, $728, give or take. It's down here sitting at 400. So I really do think that BitTensor is one of those safe plays that you can get. And then when the Genomes.io or the Genome subnet comes out, I hope that I hope they give it a token. I hope they migrate the token, or I hope that they give it a token. And I hope it's not just them creating a subnet for everyone to use, but I hope that they integrate their token system into it, because that would be incredibly bullish. Genomes already is one of those projects that I just, you know when you see, and I might be speaking a little bit too off the rails for you guys, but you know when you see a project or you see an investment and you just get that gut feeling that it's going to be a killer, a winner, and then you do all your research and it reaffirms that gut feeling? That's what Genomes is for me. It's one of those projects that it doesn't get a ton of attention all the time, but it is such a power horse in the industry that it's one of those gut feeling projects for me. And to see them continue to make cool progression, it's really awesome. Good morning, C90. What's good, MK? How's it going, Beagle? Thinking about swapping my quant for Tau. I think it's a good play. I do. I really do. Let's duplicate this and go see some. Actually, you know what we could do? We could come to here and go see Q and T. See quant at 116 bucks. It's definitely, if we look at quant here, we're definitely chilling at the upper bound of a range. Not all the way up, and I know we're about to go into some cool price action for the bull market, but if you look at kind of this range that's formed, it's not all the way at the top of it. It's definitely not all the way at the top of that range. Oh, come on. Give me my regular tools back. But it is coming into an area of contention for quant. You can even tighten this up and see that area up here. Every time, at least for this entire bull market since March of 2022, every time we've come above $120, it seems to be an area that we get rejected from. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to stay like that forever, but I do think that in this area of quant would be a good time to kind of take profits. And then you buy back in when it's down closer to $80 to $60. And then you go look at Tau, which is also in a range. Make no mistake, this is not the total price chart of Tau, but Tau is also in that range. But I think that the future for Tau is a lot more bright than for quant, personally speaking. And Tau is 3.5 billion and QNT is 1.7 billion. So it's actually only half the price. Interesting. They both have really good tokenomics though, so take it with a grain of salt. Do what you want with that information. The other thing to take into account is that Tau has a lot of VCs backing it. I know Quant does too, but Tau has a crazy amount of VC money in it. And so the price, the coin actually fluctuates pretty dramatically when they dump. Like look at that single scam wick down to 235. Somebody dumped like crazy there. If we can get support here, Tau looks a lot like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Honestly, it looks a lot like Solana, but where the RSI is kind of resetting above the moving average, and we're at a point on the chart that if we do get that hold this level of support, 400 could turn into the bottom for it to start rocketing higher. Another one that I know a lot of you guys hold on to, Ondo. Ondo has been making some pretty cool announcements, some pretty cool partnerships. I guess they're working with BlackRock, which we already knew, but it's at the bottom of its range, and its range looks a little bit nicer than the others out there. Boom. Boom. A little bit of a megaphone, right? I know I don't talk about large caps all that often, but it's worth paying attention to. I might buy a bag of quant here if I had any, or not quant, of Tau, if I had any money. If I could, I might, but unfortunately I don't have any money. And we are seeing global liquidity skyrocket again. So it was trending sideways and up for a little bit, and it got me a little bit nervous that it was going to be a local top for a bit, but we just pushed again higher today, much higher today on global liquidity. So that is very exciting. Again, Bitcoin is chilling somewhere around here, somewhere in this area. So a quick spike up over the next 30 days, and then some chopping sideways for a while, and then hopefully another quick spike up. But right now, You guys remember what I said about this. In my opinion, we will continue to track global liquidity until global liquidity has another one of these pullbacks like it did here. And then I think the correlation in that 70 to 100-day lag will break. I believe that once global liquidity starts coming down, people will just start selling their Bitcoin because everyone's paying attention to it, and that will break that 70 to 100-day lag. I've lost so much on Ondo. The Discover Value Pack hasn't been friendly to me. Ondo, Arrow, Velo, Quant. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. That is kind of the Discover Value Pack. What is the That Investor Value Pack? If you guys had to list out That Investor Value Pack, I'm curious what you guys would say it is. And while you guys are doing that, I'll give a shout out to our sponsorship here. We have water brought to you by Mother Earth. Not sponsored, although it should be. You guys need to get that water in your stomach. Water and sleep, the best longevity mixture anyone could ask for. I started taking a bunch of different supplements here yesterday, and I feel like they almost got me high yesterday. It was very interesting, but I was sitting here working, and I really felt like I was on the very edge of being high, and it was literally just from having a bunch of supplements in my body. And I went ahead, and I know we're getting off track, and we'll talk about the news, but we're just gonna be, it's an all over the place live stream today, god damn it, okay? Optimum minerals. I think, yeah, optimized minerals. I went ahead and bought this yesterday, and so it should be here by the end of the weekend, I think. But I want to get those minerals. Everyone's so focused on the vitamins, and yet so many people are deficient in their mineral blends. And minerals are something that you can't get to, like your body can't make minerals, so they are essential, just like different enzymes and vitamins, not enzymes, sorry, vitamins. It is very important that you get your minerals, basically, is what I'm saying. It helps with everything in your body, especially nerves. Your nerves need minerals more than anything. Nerves, bones, joints, all that stuff. But yeah, I bought it. I'll give you guys a full review later. I love this. I only buy them $100 market caps. Shout out Beagle. I respect that. I respect that. $100 market caps or below. No. I like to buy things that are sub 10 million, but Amanda likes to buy things that are larger so that it's less volatile. And so I get to play around with her money. Don't tell her. And so I keep her in some of the bigger things. Serious question, thoughts on Dick DAO? Whatever happened to Erectus DAO? Erectus DAO, I haven't heard too much from them. I was going to help them. You guys remember when I took that advisory role for Erectus DAO? I was going to help them. They didn't take any of my advice, and so I chose to step down from it. Plus, it was right around the same time that I'd launched Bill, and so I just couldn't keep more than one thing going. I needed to hyperfixate on Bill in order to make sure he was the best possible version of himself, and so I had to step down from it. After giving some advice and helping for a little bit. I need a haircut again. I just got a haircut, but I need a haircut again. But yeah, I don't know. I've not heard or paid any attention to what they've been doing since then. We will see. They're still active. The founders, I'm still, like the team, it doesn't change the fact that the team is absolutely beyond stacked. And so knowing who is on the team and knowing that they are like a conglomerate of most of the major DAOs from Bio, I do have faith that it'll be good. I do have faith that they will be pretty good in what they do. However, yikes. How low can you go? How low can you go? Up 60% from the bottom there. Pop, drop, lock, pop, drop, lock, pop, drop, lock, dropping, pop. Bio, Dynex, Lake, Hempy is the That Investor Starter Pack. I'll take it. I love it. I love it. Bill, Dynex, all the molecules. I like that one as well. I think that is pretty close to what I would say is my starter pack. How you forget about Bill on that list? I know, C90. I can't believe you forgot about Bill, honestly. Bill, Dynex, all the IP tokens, Psy, Noble, Data Lake, all of the above. All of the above. If it is a DeSci project from 2024 or before, it's in the starter pack. But let's go ahead and get into some more of the news. We have HairDAO here. They are restarting their line of shampoo, the Follicles, which means we might get some marketing of their poo token. But Follicle soothes, moisturizes, and protects your scalp while maintaining its natural pH balance. So, pretty bullish. They get that consumer-facing product out to the market once more. Very exciting to see. And then we have Long COVID Labs. Long COVID Labs highlighting a discovery which explains how long COVID has that breathing problem that everyone talks about with long COVID. I'm not sure if any of you guys are affected by or know anyone with long COVID, but it seems to be pretty brutal. The entire DeSci market as a whole is the starter pack. Exactly, MK. Basically, just go buy everything in DeSci. By uncovering distinct immune patterns in patients who have different types of restrictive lung diseases after infection, we can better understand the immune drivers of lung injury and how these patterns may reflect different stages of the same disease process. So just a little highlight here for Long COVID Labs. They've been getting more and more in tune with long COVID and trying to help come up with solutions for people who are suffering from long COVID. Massive market opportunity there for them. Next up, we have Quantum Biology DAO. I have 2 posts from Quantum Bio DAO. This one I thought was fun and exciting. They turned their mascot fish into a version for 12 of the main bio DAOs out there. So Reflex DAO, we have Hair DAO, we have Cerebrum DAO, we have Spine DAO, Myco DAO, Cryo DAO, Psy DAO, Rare Disease DAO, Athena DAO, Vita DAO, Valley DAO, and Long COVID Labs DAO. So pretty interesting. I liked this. It was just kind of cute, and I wanted to share it with you guys. It was feeling kind of cute today. But I also have an information dump for you guys on Quantum Biology DAO. So here is the starter stack of books and papers that we found helpful. It's just the beginning. Let's build it out. If you have your own recommendations, share them below. So anyone who is interested in learning more about quantum biology, you should pay attention and read through some of these research or these books. Life on the Edge by John Joe McFadden and Jim Al-Khalil. Physical Principles of Quantum Biology by Nathan and Sandy. Quantum Effects in Biology by Masad and Yasser, Gregory, and Martin. I'm not going to read the names, but I only have 2 more, so we might as well. Quantum Biology, A Glimpse into the Future of Medicine by Joffrey W. Guy. And What is Life by Erwin Schrödinger. Come on, there's no way that that's his real name. Is this a real... Oh, is this actually Schrödinger? Okay, alright, I accept. I thought it was a modern guy with the same last name. Schrödinger's cat. That's funny. Very funny. But yeah, those seems like pretty good books. I would definitely take a look at them because quantum biology is the foundation of all life on the planet. How frequencies on the smallest observable level impact human life, all life, everything, literally everything. Yeah, literally. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to tell you guys that quantum just means the smallest observable or smallest measurable thing that you can do. So quantum biology is just the smallest form of biology. Quantum computing is just the smallest form of computing that we have. Quantum physics, the smallest form of physics, right? It's nothing crazy special. It's just literally just means small. Then, keeping it on the same topic here, we have Quant Bond, which is slowly becoming a more and more interesting project to me. Before I read this, I do want to go look at Quant Bond's token. LOL. What is it? What is their token, guys? What is their token? Anyone remember? Oh yeah, ticker not. Ticker not. $500,000 market cap. It is chillin'. It is really holding support here. Looks low-key kind of similar to Bill, if you will. Doesn't it? Bill had a little bit more of a spike here, but Quant looks pretty similar to Bill. I also think Bill got higher in market cap. So 2,500% returns to get back to all-time highs, and I didn't even catch the total bottom there. Oh, that's the 4 hour. Let's go to the daily. So 1,000% would get us to a $5 million market cap. 2,000 would get us to a $10 million market cap. So you're looking at just higher than that, $10 million market cap to get back to all-time highs. You look at that chart compared to Bill's chart, and it does look remarkably similar, doesn't it? It does indeed, only Bill is smaller. I think Bill fell harder than Quant Bond. No, we just didn't get quite to the same market cap, but yeah, we did though. We got to 10 million. We got just shy of 10 million actually. But yes, expect some cool stuff coming out of it. I'm finalizing the details of the partnership that I keep teasing. So I might announce it tomorrow. But there's no guarantee. And I was told by, wow, what is wrong with my brain today? Did I not get enough sleep? I was told by GitHub. Not to ship things on Fridays. So I might postpone it until the weekend's over, meaning the announcement might come Monday. But I know that we talk about the updates on Fridays, which is tomorrow's live stream. If you don't know, we go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. Talk about decentralized science, the broader crypto markets. And on Fridays, we do a Build Bill, where I give you guys updates on my AI agent, Bill, the DeSci guy. And tomorrow, this whole week, the last 2 weeks or so, I've been really working on a partnership for Bill that I think will drive a lot of exciting attention and use cases for Bill. And so I want to announce it to you guys, but I need to make sure that it's as smooth as possible. Last thing I want is for the same type of announcement to go out as what happened with Dynex, because Dynex just kind of threw it out there and was like, oh, we partnered with them. And it was like, homie, do you know how long I was setting up stuff and creators to like amplify this partnership announcement? And then you guys just said it without any warning. I just woke up one day and it was released. And I know you guys already knew because I teased it so many times, but like, God damn it. Do you know if there's a YouTuber like you that is in the AI agent trenches? Good question, Putain Parker. I mean, I am kind of in the AI agent trenches, kind of. As far as YouTubers that I would watch for AI agent content, let's go here. And actually, it's not going to be on this one. It'll be on my other account. "100% agree with this. Pushing a product on a Friday sucks. LMAO. LMAO. Yeah, it's not ideal, right? This guy's really, really good with AI stuff, AI agents specifically. I've learned a lot from Cole here, a lot. I've also doxing all my subscriptions. Jason Blaha. Let's see. Nate is really good at AI. Nate Herc, really good at AI. AI Foundations is a really good page. Really, really good, especially if you like N8N. If you like N8N, ask me questions. I'm very, very, very in tune with N8N. We also have Robo Nuggets. He's really good with AI. I already showed you Cole. And then there's one more that I would recommend. I forget his name. Morningside. This guy, Liam Otley, he is also really good with AI. So those are the people I would personally suggest if you're interested in learning more. We've talked about it a lot here, and we've talked about it a lot here as well, about me starting to give you guys more content on AI, and I am super down for it. I just don't want you guys to think that I have abandoned DeSci, but I am probably going to start pushing some AI content soon because I really am interested in it, and this whole journey of making content initially was supposed to just be documenting my journey through investing. And right now, if you're not well versed on AI, you're not going to really be able to make it investing. And so while my niche is DeSci, and while I see the biggest opportunity in DeSci, if you're not well versed on AI, you're not going to be able to make it. And so I'm probably going to start putting out AI, especially when I get Bill to a spot where I feel like I can do other things. But right now, it's literally been every moment of everything that I have has been focused on building Bill. So Patrick's troll account, lol. What the hell, C90? We might show up on Friday. C90, you are the one of you, Beagle, and a couple other you guys, but you and Beagle, I know, are going to show up no matter what I do, no matter what the live stream is planned for. Several of you, honestly, all 15 of you guys are the core people that show up regardless. So shout out to all of you guys. Doesn't matter what I talk about. Y'all are going to be here listening. And I've tested it. I've pushed it. Talking about interdimensional nonsense and random theories that I come up with while I sleep. I've talked about it all, and you guys listen. So I know y'all will be here through thick and thin. I like N8N and make.com. I need to do something with this. N8N is crazy. Hell yeah, Beagle. Hell yeah. N8N is really, really a crazy thing that you can do. Like, yeah. There's a lot of really fascinating stuff that you can build in N8N. And if you guys aren't paying attention to it, I think you should. Like, watch this. You guys ready for this? Let's go ahead. Let's collapse that so you guys can't see anything. Maybe. You sons of bitches. Are you ready for this? Go ahead and click this. We'll do a manual trigger. So this triggers a workflow. We'll go ahead and name this thing YouTube live build. You ready for this? We'll do an AI agent, right? AI agent, testing stuff. We're just going to name it so that we're all easy on the nomenclature. Oh, I don't need this. I just need the chat then. We'll give it a chat model, which will scroll down to OpenAI just because it's the easiest one out there for me to connect to. We'll go 4.0 mini so I don't waste a bunch of money. We'll give it just an in-house simple memory log here so it can keep track of the conversation, right? So 4.0 mini. I already told you that. It's the cheapest model that you'll be able to talk with that keeps up. We got the simple memory, so to see how many messages it can keep track of before forgetting what you guys are talking about. And then you can add different tools to the agent. And so one of the things that you can do is the MCP client tools, which if you guys don't know, we just saw, I actually got tagged in it. So shout out the person who tagged me, Muscle. CoinGecko just released an MCP server so that you can do complex queries with AI agents. And so I have CoinGecko APIs, but apparently this is a free thing that they've put out there. So now you can agents can do queries to CoinGecko through this MCP server, and you can set it up and test it in N8N. But let's go ahead and give it a pinecone vector and retrieval of the documents. I don't remember the name of the knowledge base right now. Embedding style, you use OpenAI is likely going to be what you're embedding with. Text small, although I think I have mine set to text large. I'm actually, hold on, give me a second. Give me a second here. Oh, it didn't load, LOL. We can do a conversation with DeSci. Oh, come on. The description. I'm just going to do it lightly so that you guys can see it. Work with the documentation of all major DeSci companies embedded here. I can't put any spaces? Yeah. And then we have the embedding. We'll go ahead and open the chat and we'll say, what is the total supply of AXGT? See how quickly you can set things up with N8N? What was that? It was like a 3-minute setup, and I just created a makeshift agent. Very, very basic stuff. And I already did all the embeddings. I already did all the embeddings for Bill's knowledge base. So I just gave this agent access to Bill's knowledge base there. But you can just go crazy with it and make whatever you want. And then one of the cool things is now, because what they have here is a CoinGecko API tool so that you can actually integrate CoinGecko directly through N8N. Now it never works and you have to do very complicated workarounds because for whatever reason, again, like I said, the CoinGecko tool here never works. So you have to do your own custom API calls to it. But anything that you guys could possibly want, there are tools in here for it. And if there aren't, you can just make your own. You can just go ahead and make your own. Like you scroll through here, Google Calendar, Google Chat. So you guys need to start learning this, honestly. And if you guys want, in the Discord, I can give you guys some dedicated lessons on how to integrate with it. Personally, in my opinion, N8N is more powerful than Make. Make.com is really good, but it doesn't have the same flexibility that N8N does. So you can make agentic systems in Make.com, but N8N has more ability to add things that are customizable. Like you can add custom code nodes to workflows, and as long as you understand a little bit of JavaScript, which guess what? You don't have to. You can just prompt an AI to make it for you. So as long as you know how to prompt appropriately, very specifically for what you want, as long as you're good at prompt engineering, then you can get anything you want out of these code nodes, which means you can literally do anything you could possibly imagine. So just a little bit of fun there, a little bit of interesting stuff. You can also like embed sub workflows. So if you create an agent that's really good at something, you can actually give a tool to this agent and call another workflow, right? So if you make in N8N, you make an agent, you can actually make another agent that uses the agent you made as a tool in this agent's tool set. So it really goes hard AF. There are a lot of cool things that you can do with them as long as you know and have the time to do it. And it's like making a framework. You guys have all heard of Sora framework. You guys have heard of, what are some frameworks that you guys have heard of? Like there's Sora, there is, I told you guys my brain was like fried today for some reason, malfunctioning a little bit. You got the Batty framework from drugs. You guys have the ELIZA framework for conversational models. This is like creating your own custom frameworks. And so you can go look at Anthropic and you can go look at the different agentic frameworks that they recommend, like doing things in parallel or in series, or doing things as a like conductor agents where one agent talks to other agents and you make a whole team. It's really powerful stuff what you can do in N8N. It's like creating your own frameworks. That hurt my back. Yes, please. I've used Make in the past, but N8N looks like it has more options. It has a lot more options. The DeSci Pilled podcast / YouTube with Ben from YNE is definitely worth a listen / watch. They talk about DeSci, vibe coding, AI, and YNE. That's really cool, actually. That's really cool. Yeah, it is cool. You know what's really interesting too? YNE is a very unique agent, right? But watch this. If you guys go ahead and create a trigger for a node, you trigger it manually, right? You come in here, you go here, and you go to Google, and you go to Google Docs. You can actually go get a document. We're not going to set any of it up right now, but you go retrieve a document from Google, right? Or actually, let's go even harder. Let's get it even more in depth. Let's go to your Google Drive, and you go ahead and you get, where is it? Download a file from your Google Drive. So imagine for a second you upload a PDF to your Google Drive, right? You download that Google Drive document. You then come here. Once you've downloaded it into your N8N workflow, you can actually go and create a Pinecone vector store where you add documents to the vector store. And you will go through and you'll add the different things like the embedding model, which you'll come here and you'll choose small or large. Don't do Cardano's version. That one's not good. Do small or large if you want. And then you can get here and insert a document. You can do the default data loader if you want to. And again, you can get way more specific with all of this. You come down to a text splitter. You do a recursive text splitter. So it adds a little bit of overlay and it splits up that PDF that you're embedding, right? It splits it up based off of the paragraphs. If you were to choose one of these, like a character text splitter, it would just do it based off of the characters. And so it wouldn't be intelligent. If you did it off tokens, it would do it off the tokens. So it also wouldn't be intelligent. So you want to do a recursive text splitter. And then all of a sudden you have the ability to take a PDF, or if we're thinking in the terms of research, take a research proposal or research document, a PDF finding, and you can embed it into a vector store, which if you then put your vector store here, right, and you connect an agent to it, you can now talk to that PDF through an AI agent. So yes, no error is kind of taking a PDF, which will be scientific research, and it will be embedding it into a readable format for an AI agent. And then you come here and you instruct this AI agent to review the PDF for a series of known errors. And then you have a makeshift yes, no error. It's super, super more complicated than that, what they've actually done. But you can make rudimentary versions of things like yes, no error in N8N. And this is exactly how you would do it. right? And there's a lot of different ways that a lot of different databases that you can embed into. Pinecone is just kind of the easiest one in my opinion, and it's super simple. So if you guys want, we can of course go through and learn more and more about it, because as C90 says here, N8N will be our ticket to being employed in the future. Low key, because what you have to do with this is, I'm gonna go just to my face so that you guys can see it hardcore here. Ignore the mess behind me. But what you're doing with this is that you are learning the infrastructure for AI agents and AI systems, right? And so you're not just like building these systems, but you're learning how to work in an AI dominant future. So you're learning prompt engineering. You're learning infrastructure layouts for agents. You're learning what they can and can't do, and you're keeping up to date on all possible models that are out there in the industry. So genuinely, learning now for that future will make sure that you can maintain a job, and if you even want to kind of go out and do some freelancing, you can, because at that point you understand more. Tickets to the gun show. Hell yeah, baby. The beach is that way. Yeah. It's really powerful stuff, and it's really cool, and I think you guys should learn it, and then I think you guys should help me create agentic systems for companies that need them. That would be really cool. It'd be in the future, after the bull market, when we need to go get some money, and we're out of money because the bull market's over and everything's crashing. So sometime next year, we can all band together and start going out there and making agentic systems for people with companies. Prediction for how the job market will evolve with AI. It's a really good question, actually. So, in my opinion, the job market, ooh, that's not what I wanted. The job market is going to become more hostile. So if you go look at, I don't know if this chart will pull up, but if you go look at stuff like this, you can see pretty clearly that in the United States, we had that boom for developers in 2022 and 2021, where everyone was hiring for developers. And then we had that crash with the economic slowdown that happened when they raised rates. But on top of that, what we saw was the advancements of AI, where now you don't necessarily need as many developers on a team. And so where a lot of the job market is right now is heavily dev orientated and software, right? Most of the earnings in the S&P 500 come from software companies, and they don't need as many developers, because if you get a team of like 2, 3, 5 really good developers that know how to use AI, then you're not actually going to need all the little intro level jobs with AI. And so I think the unemployment rate will kind of tick up for a little bit and then normalize at a higher level for at least the foreseeable future. We're not at a point where AI is really just taking everything, because it hallucinates and it messes up a lot, and you still need people to maintain the servers and everything. But we haven't hit that singularity moment yet. But I do think that the future of our job market is not as bright as, well, I was going to say not as bright as people think, but everyone I think understands that this is kind of where things are going. With that being said, I do believe that it will normalize and people will just learn how to get new jobs in this AI environment. Just like every other advancement that has happened with technology, it just normalizes after a little bit, and the initial people who were unemployed end up getting different jobs, right? The people who took, it's the saying that everyone is familiar with, but the people who were taking care of the horses when cars were invented were out of a job for a very long time, and then they found new jobs to do, right? Cars needed new people to work on it. It just wasn't the same skill set. And so that shift happens, and we have more jobs after cars were invented than we did before cars were invented. but it was a total shift in what was needed from the employee. And so the same type of thing I think will take place, where we'll just shift, and there will be a period where it's really uncomfortable, and it might be 20 years. It could be 20 years of elevated unemployment. I don't know, but eventually it will stabilize and civilization will continue forward. It might just be more creative jobs. You might see a boom, which we're already seeing, a crazy boom in creators as everyone starts making content online and everyone just earns money in a creator economy. And I think that is something that is super possible. That is something that absolutely could happen. Yeah, exactly, David. Exactly, David. AI is not going to replace you right now, but someone who knows how to use AI is going to replace you. So you need to learn how to use it. And N8N is one of those systems that allows you to learn how to use AI correctly. Because look at this. If I come to this agent and I change this to define below, I get a prompt or a user message. And so I can take the chat input here and put it here, but then say, do something like this and say, no matter what the person says here, respond with the, respond with help, or no, I love DeSci. And then we open up the chat and say, we refresh it, and you say, what is the total supply of, we'll just stay the same, AXGT, because we know that it is familiar with that. But you get prompt engineering and you can make the AI do anything you want. And it goes even further than that because you can add an option here and give it a system message on top. You're a helpful assistant. What if you don't want an assistant? What if you want a thought-provoking explorer, right? You can really get very creative, and this is prompt engineering. And so this is where you get the real uses of AI, because you have to then tell it in the system message what it is, what it's good for, and what all the tools that it has available to it are going to be. And so that is the same thing that's going to happen outside of systems like this. Just what you're doing here is it's a more easy to view. It's a more easy to view way of coding an agent that people can just drag and drop nodes instead of having to actually like read all of this, right? So you're still creating agentic systems, but it's a much easier way of doing it where you don't have to actually know how to write all of this. You're just in there. Oh, I hope I didn't just give away shit. I'm gonna be very upset. LOL. I probably did, didn't I? Fuck. And you're cooked. All right, guys. Well, I think we should end on that note. I think I just gave away my OpenAI keys, didn't I? My company isn't replacing employees. Wait, go back, I missed it. You son of a bitch. My company isn't replacing employees, but they are strongly encouraging we use it in our day-to-day tasks. Yeah, you absolutely should. You know what's interesting? I was actually going to show you guys a lot of information today, but I decided not to. I'm not going to save this, but hopefully I gave you guys some insight on it. I think after I've made some good headway with Bill and he's out in the world being a cool agent and utilizing all the tools that I've been giving him over the last 6 to 8 months, I think we'll start talking more about N8N and we'll start learning more about what's going on with the agent world. N8N is a good way to go practice. Same with Make if you want to, but there's a lot of cool tools out there for AI. And I don't think we went through everything necessarily. We didn't talk about Quant Bond's updates that they gave, but if you guys are interested, I will give you guys the link here Boom. I'm gonna go see a massive influx in my OpenAI stuff. So I'm gonna have to get gone for a minute, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Your time, I didn't give the outro, so thank you, Yuki. I appreciate the mullet compliment. Your time is your most valuable asset, so hopefully this is worth investing it into. I appreciate you guys being here with me, and make sure you join in tomorrow for Agent Bill's exciting update day. I'll see y'all tomorrow.